So with the latest Prime Battle LR dropping, I'm sure a lot of you are caught in the middle of whether you want to grind him up, because of course, a new LR sounds nice, but you know, it is a Prime Battle LR. And as most of you know, Prime Battle LRs are a pain to grind up. You can see right here, it does cost 777 medals to awaken the TUR into an LR. So of course the grind, yeah, it's going to be kind of tedious. So I figured we could do a video talking about whether you should grind him up. You know, we'll go over his kit and decide if it's really worth it. But also let me know in the comments how you are feeling about this video, because I do plan on doing this in the future with all up and coming Prime Battle LRs, because I did a poll the other day asking if you guys grind Prime Battle LRs, and 59% of you just straight up said no. So I figured maybe just dropping a video every time we get a Prime Battle LR, going over if we should actually grind them or not, might help some of you want to actually grind them up, because some of these Prime Battle LRs are useful. For example, I know this Krillin right here is very good. This Gohan, I guess, can kind of be useful, but then there's also, like, you know, this TN and then Dr. WHEELO, who aren't bad by any means. They can be useful, but do I think they're worth grinding 777 medals? No, probably not. But I guess that does kind of spoil it. No, you probably shouldn't grind this guy up if you don't have the time. If you're on a time crunch, say you got school, you got work, whatever, then I probably don't recommend you grind him, because you're going to grind him, and then he's going to sit there in your box for the end of time. He's never going to be used whatsoever. But to be fair, this is a collection game, so if you do want to grind him, that is understandable, because it is just another LR in your box, and technically he is free to play. And he does have some good use. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. There's some situations where he's going to be pretty impressive. In terms of his leader skill, believe it or not, he is one of the best leads on Revenge, only behind the AGL Bardock, which says less about Dr. WHEELO and says more about how bad Revenge is. Like, he's one of the best leads of Revenge, and he's only a 130% leader skill. Yeah, that's crazy. We need a 200% for Revenge, because that's just insane. And then his super attack effects are actually pretty good. So on his 12 key, he gets 30% defense for 1 turn, causes colossal damage to enemy, and then lowers attack. His 18 key is that he raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes mega colossal damage to enemy, and then seals super. So he's getting defense on both 12 and 18 key, and then he's also sealing and lowering attack. So those two things are good for Super Battle Road. And then also he's AGL, so he's got the base 5 additional, and then he's also free to play. So then you can get him rainbowed and design him however you want in the hidden potential system the second you get him. So then you could potentially put even more additionals into him, and then he would get the additional super even more frequently, and then get even more defense on that. So not really that bad with the super attack effects. I'll give him that. That is actually pretty impressive, especially for a free-to-play unit. But then his passive. Yeah, I mean, this is where it gets rough. You can see, unfortunately, he only has, like, flat number buffs. He doesn't have any percent buffs in his kit, which, judging off of how units with just flat number buffs in the past have been, you can tell, unfortunately, this will make him age a lot quicker. So his passive is that he activates the entrance animation once only. He gets 4 key and then 80,000 defense for 4 turns from start of turn, when there's another Revenge category ally on the team at the start of the character's attacking turn. As we already established, this category sucks, so that's definitely a pretty bad restriction. And then he gets 3 key and then 100,000 attack and defense, and then he gets another 3 key and then 60,000 attack and defense when facing only 1 enemy at the start of turn. And if that enemy's HP is 60% or more, he gets another 60,000 attack and then a medium chance of critting. So, I mean, I guess that's good, but I don't know, man. Like, these just number buffs really aren't that crazy. We need the percent buffs. So, you could see this is going to make him a lot weaker. The medium chance to crit is nice, though. I mean, it's not that reliable. It's only 30% chance, but I guess it's still pretty good. And then also, he gets another 2 key and then 40,000 attack. And then, I think that's 100,000 defense, so that's actually a pretty big buff. And then a medium chance to guard when facing 2 or more enemies at the start of turn. Alright, so that's probably the best line in his kit, this buff right here. So, 100,000 defense, and then a medium chance to guard. Let's just take that at face value. Let's forget the restriction behind it. Sucks, because only 100,000 defense, I mean, that's kind of noticeable, but, I mean, we need percent buffs, right? That would be way better if that was like 100% defense instead. That would make him way more impressive. And then maybe it was like, I don't know, 50% attack or something like that. And then the medium chance to guard also does suck, because, I mean, do I really gotta elaborate on that? Units with a high chance to guard are struggling. So a unit with a medium chance to guard, you can only assume would be like almost unrunnable. And then not only is that restriction bad, but then the restriction to get the restriction is that you have to be facing 2 or more enemies, and you're never doing that. I can name like 3 difficult events, or 3 events that you're even going to really take on now, where there's 2 or more enemies. So Yeah, not really that great with that part of his kit, and unfortunately that is the best part of his kit, because guard would have saved this unit completely. And it's good he has guard, but the condition to get the guard is so bad, and also even when you do have the condition to get the guard, there's only a 30% chance you're going to actually get it. Like, you should have just had guaranteed guard in slot 1, or guaranteed guard in slot 2 or 3, something like that, because this just ain't good enough. So, next up, he does have an additional 60,000 attack, and then a guaranteed crit when HP is 40% or less. That's actually pretty good, but it only happens once. So it's like, okay, well, so much for that. I mean, it'll be nice the first time you do it. You'll do some solid damage with this guaranteed crit and attack buff, but it's literally only one time. So you could just see this guy is so wonky. They could have made him so much better in so many areas of his kit. They made him heavily restricted, and honestly, I can't put it any other way than this is just another extreme class fumble. This is exactly how they typically design extreme class units, and it's why extreme class is so bad in comparison to super class. So, very unfortunate, but I guess it's just the way it is. Now, he does have an active skill. I'll give him credit. You know, he's free to play, he's got guard, he's got crits, and he has an active skill. So there is that. I mean, there's some use with this guy. Again, I just want to clarify that because I know I just went on a long rant with him, but he's pretty useful. He's got some things built into his kit that's good. And this active skill, it can do some solid damage, I guess. You know, I mean, he massively raises attack, causes ultimate damage to enemy. No crits or anything built into the active skill, but he's free to play, so it's not like I really expected that. But another L with this guy is the condition. It's just not good. The condition straight up sucks. So it can be activated when HP is 40% or less when facing only one enemy. That's really bad. And then the other one is when he's facing an enemy whose HP is 60% or more starting from the 5th turn from start of battle. That's not that bad, but that's still going to be pretty difficult to get. I mean, it is from turn 5, though, so most of the time you probably will be above 60% HP from turn 5. Maybe if you bring an item or something that heals, and then you could probably get this off. But, I mean, still, not a good condition, and the effect isn't even really that worth it. And then his link set is Prodigies, Mechanical Menaces, Revival, Thirst for Conquest, Scientist, Shattering the Limit, and then Legendary Power. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to laugh at this guy, but I mean, what do you want me to say? Like, this link somehow isn't the worst link in the game, but this is still, like, horrible. I'll give it some credit. At link level 10, the 20% defense will be kind of nice, but who are you running him next to? Oh, yeah, you're running him next to Bulma? Oh, okay, cool. On what team? What team are you running him next to Bulma? Oh, you're going to run him next to Dr. Mew and Jiro? Okay, well, they suck. So, no, you can't do that. Like, it's just what is this link set, bro? What is this? He's got Thirst for Conquest, which is pretty good. And he's got Prodigies, so then some freezes he'll link up pretty well with, because Prodigies and Thirst for Conquest. And then all the other links, it's just like, what? I mean, Legendary Power and Shattering the Limit, those aren't bad, but all free-to-play units have those. So, I mean, we kind of knew he was going to have that. But, like, Scientist, Revival, Mechanical Menaces, like, dude, you don't get worse than this, really, with link sets. Like, this is just horrible. I mean, I know he's free to play, so they didn't want to give him big bad bosses, but they really should have, because this is just not good. And then his categories, we already talked about it, but we'll go over it again. He's got Resurrected Warriors, Movie Bosses, Terrifying Conquerors, Revenge, Battle of Wits, and then Power of Wishes. Then these are his stats at Rainbowed level. So, yeah, I mean, again, I don't really recommend you grind him. If you really want the LR in your box, if you really like Dr. WHEELO and you have an amazing spot for him on one of these teams, maybe it wouldn't be the worst idea to grind him up, but for your average player, I don't recommend it. I sure as hell am not going to grind him up. I don't feel like sitting there doing 777 medals. I'd rather go record another video or something, because, I don't know, man, this guy is just not worth it. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm not a true Dokkan battler, because, you know, I'm not trying to collect every unit, Rainbow, you know, Max Awaken and all that. But personally, I just don't really see the value with this guy. So, I guess that pretty much has been the video. Keep in mind, this is all just my opinion. I mean, it's not really my opinion, because I did bring some good arguments to the table with, like, his kit and how it's not really that great. But if you really like this guy, that's completely understandable. Like I said, he will have some value in the game, but overall, I just don't think he's that crazy. But once again, that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.